Yo, what's going on? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the basement, where theology, of course, meets the thoughts of life.
Of course.
Yes, of course. We're in my basement. We're theological, and we're alive.
I'm thinking out loud.
Right. So it's good to be with you again. Make sure you share and like the video. Let people know what's going on. This is an open Q&A. We would love to interact with your comments and questions. That's what this is about tonight. And it's really good to engage y'all, to even put ourselves out there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like doing Q&A. We're good. I think we'll be okay. But share and like the video. Let people know what's going on here on Wrath and Grace. We do have an app, Wrath and Grace Universe, WG Universe on the App Store. Make sure you download that. Get the content that could encourage you. There's conferences, there's other podcasts involved on the platform, and there's also t-shirts and all sorts of material you can get from Wrath and Grace. So make sure you go to WG Universe to the App Store. We do have a Patreon page, patreon.com/thebasement717. If y'all ain't supporting, then y'all need to repent and turn from your wicked ways. But just joking. But no, it'd be good for y'all to support and just even help us out. We definitely need it in this season. And our website, wrathandgrace.com, is the website that's still up that you can go to, or you can also go to facebook.com/group/thebasement. Let people know what's going on there. That's our hub on Facebook for y'all to get involved and ask questions even then before we get on live. But that's it, man. That's all we got going on. I don't know if there's anything else you want to share, Wayne. Let people know what's going on.
No, I just posted in the comment section. Anyone that's watching right now, that's joining with us in the Facebook Live, post questions in the comment section. So I guess we just give a little update on how life has been. We just got out of the church meeting. We do a once a month church meeting where we just discuss all of the things that are happening, and it's just been a blessing, right?
Yeah.
We're a church plant here in Lancaster City, Pennsylvania. I don't know where you guys are tuning in from, but we're here in the good old Lank.
Yeah.
And it's just been a blessing to be able to do ministry here, do ministry together with the team that is involved. I mean, God is just doing big things.
Yeah. It's been a fruitful season. Hard season, but fruitful.
Yeah.
When you want to gain from the ground, you have to till the ground. You have to work the ground, right? And
Yeah.
God is definitely doing that in the city of Lancaster, man.
Yeah.
So we're thankful for that.
Throw in there everything else that comes with life. We're married. We have children. And then throw in there that we're schoolboys once again.
I saw the memes, man.
Yo.
I might have to show y'all. It's mad disrespectful.
Mad disrespectful. I don't know if we could put comments. Can we put pictures in the comments section?
I think you can, yeah.
I can't.
Really?
No, you can. That's weird, but you
okay.
can't put pictures in the comment section.
Okay.
Now, if you shared your screen, I think you could, but
yeah, I
that
think
would
I'll
be
do
another
that.
thing.
I'll do that. Yeah, I'll share with y'all real quick. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, display. Boom. All right. So yeah, there was mad disrespect happening on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So
while we're posting that, who's out there? Looks like 9-10 of y'all are out there. Let us know who you are. Let us know where you're coming from. Where do you live? I had someone ask me the other day, who tunes in? Where are they tuning in from? Is it just a local thing? And it's far from a local thing. There's times where we get people in Hawaii, people Alaska or England, Australia, crazy places that you would not think, because it might be 9 o'clock over here on the East Coast of the United States, but elsewhere, if there's somebody tuning in on another part of the world, who knows what time it is. One time someone was tuning in from, I think, England, and it was like 3 o'clock where they were.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So anyway, feel free, put your name out there, or just post, tell us where you're from, where you are. I guess I'll start off first with the questions while we're waiting. Did you want to post the picture?
No, go ahead. It's going to take me a little bit here, but go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. First question. You are stuck on an island with only one theology book, and it was not written by a Reformed author. What book do you have?
Oh, you got the question up.
Yeah.
Word.
It has a little spin to it because we come from the Reformed theology, right? This one is, you're stuck on an island with one theology book, and it is not written by a Reformed author. What book do you have? Someone said Jediah is their name. Hastings, Nebraska.
What's up?
Shout out to you.
Yeah.
And shout out to Nebraska.
Henry from Dallas, Texas. What's going on? Henry Knox.
Oh,
You're Knox.
snap.
Okay.
Wow.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Any
Any questions, man? Q&A tonight. So.
I watch his page a lot. He Henry Knox is on point, man. He's sound brother.
That's
brother.
what's up. Good.
Yeah, that's the thing about Facebook. That's the thing about social media, is you get to connect with people that you would never meet in real life.
Yeah.
But you can still, eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table.
Yeah.
And sometimes I like being able to do that, whether it be through social media or just watching certain sermons online, where I get to listen and take part in things that I would have never been able to outside of the internet. So
that's a good question. I think
yeah, you're stuck on an island with only one theology book. It was not written by a Reformed author. What book do you have? Well, let me start off this one. I don't know. I would say he's probably on the Reformed side, so this might be cheating. But one of my favorite books of all time is Disciplines of a Godly Man by Richard Kent Hughes.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's a cheat code because I think he is on the Reformed side of things.
Yeah. I would say Mere Christianity.
Mere Christianity. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what?
No. Orthodoxy from Gilbert Keith Chesterton.
Okay.
Orthodoxy, yes.
G.K. Chesterton.
Yes.
Chesterton.
Yep.
Okay.
That would be it.
Another one. I might get killed for this one. The C.S. Lewis book. The one Screw Tape Letters.
Oh yeah.
That one. Screw Tape Letters is my joint right there.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but I don't know who's in the comment section, so I don't know if they'll like that one right there. That one's a little controversial.
Yeah.
Another one. Live Your Best Life Now.
That's good toilet paper. Toilet paper on the island. If you're
Right.
stuck.
I didn't say I would be reading it.
Yeah.
I just said I would have that joint as fuel.
Yo.
I need something to keep the fire going.
No doubt.
George Mueller, not sure if he's reformed. You know what? He might. I don't know. But he was George Mueller's the guy that started the Salvation Army, right? Or had the orphanages, and I thought he was that guy.
Man, I can't remember.
Big name in the evangelical crowd. So
yeah. But I got the picture up. If y'all want to see it, and I'm embarrassing myself right now. It's okay. I can take it, but
you didn't put mine up, did you?
No, I will though. I need to, because I'm not.
Did you
in
see
this
the
by
one Benno
myself.
made?
No, I don't want to see the one Benno made.
Yo, he's wildin'. He definitely memed us up.
My bad. I put it backwards. So, boom. A would be the picture, and then us small. There you go, guys. My wife posted that.
Yes, orphanages. Yes.
13th graders. First day of school. My wife put me on blast.
Yeah.
She put me out there, y'all. So pray for my wife. She definitely needs. She needs rebuked for this. No, I'm joking.
You guys can feel free while we're laughing at Los.
Yes.
You guys can feel free to throw a question in the comment section, or maybe something you want to discuss. Throw that in the comment section.
Enjoy it.
Henry Knox said Gregory Kokel, The Story of Reality.
Oh, nice.
That's good. Yeah.
I like the space trilogy that C.S. Lewis wrote.
Yeah, Greg Kokel, sound apologist right there. He's on point.
Nice.
I can't remember where I heard of him, but I started looking into his stuff a few years ago.
Yeah.
Kokel, good guy right there.
But that's me, y'all. And yes, that's a systematic theology book.
Okay. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's a life flex, though.
Yeah.
Life flex.
So anyway, that's
even at your worst moment right here that you're still caught with a theology book. So
yeah, that's not bad actually. Yeah. Word. Now where's yours at, bro?
It's on Tiff's page.
Tiff, all right.
Yeah, it's on Tiff's page.
Let's go do this, because
and no, Tiff didn't make a meme out of me though.
Yeah, but she took that picture.
Yes, she did.
Right. All right. So here's Wayne's. Let me see here. Boom. Us. Boom.
Now
there you go.
Yeah.
Now what are you holding there, bro?
That would be my dinner for the night.
Okay.
My wife had made me chili and cornbread, so I had me a nice little meal, but it was in a cheap little bag.
Let me go zoom into this right here. Look at that, man. That's what I'm talking about.
See, I wanted to take the picture while I was in my car because I was ready to go.
You had a little cool with the glasses, right? So,
well, yeah. I was ready to hit the road, and then she made me get out the car and go over to a tree because it had a nice background. And then she made me stand in the sun because I'm dark skinned. And then she had me hold up my bag because she wanted people to laugh at me. And so then she just posted it and made a joke out of my entire existence.
That's fine.
So anyway.
No doubt. All right. Well, enough of us. Any questions or any comments y'all have on the comment section, share and like the video. Let people know we're here to interact with you and your comments. Any questions, any even thoughts on what's going on. Just recently, there was a bombing in Afghanistan. I think some Americans were killed. That happened, unfortunately. So pray for the families involved there in Afghanistan also. Yeah, a lot going on in the world. Theologically, a lot's going on too. As always, the deconstructionist movement. It's always been the case, but it's gaining some steam, I guess, out there. Deconstructing your faith, questioning the Bible, questioning the authority. Nothing new, y'all. So yeah, Ruby says, can't have chili without cornbread. You gonna eat your cornbread? She says.
Yes.
No doubt.
Oh, you remember that off of Life? You gonna eat your cornbread?
Oh, okay, that's what that's from. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering about
Tiff
that.
just texted me and said, "Did you get a haircut?"
Oh, dang.
Why? Yes, I did.
I could zoom in.
Why? Yes, I did.
Okay.
Shout out to my barber Nick. Keeps me fresh.
Nice, nice.
Got another question.
Yeah.
I'll just keep on putting them out there until people start throwing stuff in the comment section that they might want to talk about. Question: should youth groups exist, and are they biblical? Discuss.
That's
Discuss.
a good one.
Not disgust. Discuss.
Yeah. So,
I thought I put that in the comment section. Did I do
you
it?
didn't? No, I didn't see it.
Oh, I'm tripping. I just sent it to my messenger on accident. All right. Yeah. All right. There we go.
Put that up so we can
There
put
we
it
go.
up on the screen.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, I don't see it yet.
It's up now.
Oh, wait. We do got a question. You want us to tackle the youth group first or the question that Kay and
Audience always comes first.
Got you. All right. I'm
And
gonna
by
put
the
it up
way,
on the
Sister
screen.
Ruby, Cousin Ruby, if that was a question, yes, I am going to eat my cornbread.
Right. All right. So here's a question from Kay and J. Sal. Let me read it here. How would you share the gospel to someone that has lived under biblical teaching for years, but has not and is not bearing fruit? That's a husky question, man. How would you share the gospel to someone that has lived under biblical teaching for years, but has not and is not bearing fruit?
So the question isn't even, in this case, it's not even, it doesn't seem like he's assuming anything other than just how do you share the gospel with somebody like that? So that's the main question. That's what we got to keep in mind here to answer this question. How do you share the gospel with someone who's been under biblical teaching but is showing no fruit? So I would continue to share the gospel. I might even share the gospel of John and the book of First John with them. I'm going through book of First John with one of the guys at the church, discipleship, and it's been cooking. It's been cooking up the soul. We chapter 3 today. So the first chapter, second chapter, third chapter, all 3 chapters really getting to the core. The whole book really dealing with John wanting the believers not to fall into sin, to live lives of righteousness, so that they might reflect their sonship in God. If they are sons of God, then this is how they would live. They would live like the first fruit, Jesus. But if they practice sin, if they continue, if they're habitually sinning and not practicing righteousness, then it shows that they probably, in that case, have not been born again. And they should reevaluate some things. They may be children of the devil and not children of God, in fact. So, in this case, if they are not bearing fruit after a certain amount of time, then I think we can kind of deal with it like the parable of the sower, parable of the soils, where you treat them as if they still need the gospel, and maybe you need to give them something a little bit more direct. Like, again, First John. I would definitely say First John. First John is a very good one.
Yeah,
Very plain. It's for the young believer, mature believer, and all that in between.
Yeah, at that point, when you're dealing with someone who's already heard, and has been under biblical teaching and isn't bearing fruit, how to share the gospel to me is like, I think that what you have to do is develop a consistent prayer life for that person. Because at that point, what I'm saying, if they heard the gospel, what's next after that, I think, is the way you live and the way you pray. And then pray for opportunities to share.
On your end, as the one who is trying to reach them.
Yeah, because, if you're biblical, then you know that only God can open that person's heart. Only God is the one that can convince the person. And then what you can do in the meantime is ask the Lord to give you a conviction that's evident to them, and also, a conviction that could be almost like evidenced. You know what I'm saying? Like through your life. Paul did talk about, your conduct actually mattering when it comes to gospel proclamation. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what really the book of James, we're digging into that too. How, we should be definitely concerned with how we live, what we do, and then hoping that somehow that creates conversation or questions. So I would say prayer. And for instance, I have a family member I shared the gospel clearly with. I pleaded with them to repent for like almost 40 minutes, sharing with them. But that was for me like the groundwork to then, just pray and then wait for the Lord to actually, bring from that life. And sometimes that's all you can do, but that's really not, it might feel to you like you're not doing anything, but prayer and, a follow up, like I would say that, and the other thing too is I would encourage to stay away from being heady, because if they heard the teaching, they heard all that.
Then what hearty matters.
Yeah, like sometimes it's not about winning the argument at that point. It's about living the life, prayer, sharing it clearly and meaningfully, like not worrying about all the nuances and all that. Just be clear and foundational and prayerful. I think that would help.
I would throw in there, this is also why ecclesiology matters. If this person is at the point where they are living a life that is contrary to the gospel, or even let's just say they're living against the gospel, living against the work of Christ in their life that they're claiming, then at this point, they probably should have elders or leaders in the church that could approach this person and ask them specific questions. If they're members of the church, then they should be held accountable, if it goes on, you said for years. So if it goes on like that for years, then my question would be, I wonder who is holding them accountable. I wonder who is in their life because if they're not bearing fruit, then they definitely, it sounds like they need someone to pour into their life and to disciple them. They shouldn't be left alone. And if they're rejecting that, then it might point to something bigger. So yeah, ecclesiology definitely matters.
Yeah, Garrett says sharing the gospel in that situation might mean visiting orphans, widows, and unbelievers in their afflictions, or remaining unspotted by the world, the unbelievers' actions. Gospel proclamation also happens in how we treat those we want to evangelize. Yeah. That's our next text for this Sunday, by the way.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe pushing that person out of their comfort zone. Maybe just if you're living a life that is in step with the gospel, maybe having them tag along with what you're doing. Maybe that might motivate them a little bit. Maybe just like gently inviting them. Hey, if you're going out to go visit church members and have fellowships, invite them. Or if you're going out and ministering the word, invite them.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just need to see how it's done. Maybe they don't have they can know all the theology they want, but to actually see it done is another thing. So maybe that's the issue there too.
Yeah. Yep. Any other questions, comments, or
while we're waiting for another one, I did put one out there.
Yeah. Right. We can go back to that.
I'll put it in the comment section again.
Should youth groups exist? Are they biblical? Discuss ... I was going to say quickly about that. I would say they're helpful if they're done right.
Youth groups are helpful if they're done right.
If they're done right. They get the bad rep because of, mainstream, spoiling what we can do with kids. I know a youth, a pastor who works with youth, Ricardo from York, doing a dope job. Miller from Faith,
Mm-hmm.
Nate Miller and his wife. They're killing it. You know, they're showing the kids biblical theology. You know what I'm saying? So that you can take advantage of those years, really, of equipping kids to be able to deal with, especially the skepticism and the anti-Christ, public school system.
Right.
So I think you can utilize that age group and build them to be biblical. But if the youth is just a youth hangout and it's all about fun and not about Christ, which really is the picture people get when they think of youth groups, then of course that's wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's something wrong with the community of the church to focus on that age group and really equip them, especially in this day and age.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with encouraging that youth group to be around one another while this is happening too. So sometimes you can build relationships with kids or this, youth group because of the existence of a youth group. See what I'm saying? Like maybe one-on-one doesn't work with that kid as well or that youth as well. Maybe they thrive, feel more comfortable. Maybe they are more inclined to answer questions and be involved in a group setting rather than one-on-one.
Yeah, as long as the church understands that the youth leaders in the church aren't called to raise your kids. You are. But in the inner city context, there are kids that don't have fathers in the home.
Yeah.
So some of us have to play that role.
Yeah.
And you know what? I remember having a conversation with someone who we had a heated debate about that. I'm like, they came from like a mom and dad culture. I came from a single mom culture.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's unrealistic. You're asking the mom to be the father also. And you know what? I know people say that the mom had to play the mom and dad. That doesn't happen.
I'm seeing more of single moms getting together in the city now. Have you been noticing that trend?
Yeah.
In urban settings, and this is crazy to me. I gotta close to me because obviously it hits home. I won't say how, but it hits home. And so this is a problem that's happening in the urban setting I've been seeing, which is single moms getting together and raising kids together. Single moms, they're mistreated by men. They end up thinking they're gay, attracted to girls, getting relationships. Now you got two single moms coming together and they're coming with their kids and they're raising these boys and girls in two mom households.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's happening more and more. And usually the tougher one tries to act like the dad. So it's even worse. Like it's escalated. It's gone from broken homes, single parents to now you got two single parents coming together that are the same sex.
Yeah.
So it's even more brokenness.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that another time. I don't want to get too deep about that. But I'm starting to see it happen more and more.
Right. But going back to your question, it is helpful.
Youth groups
can be helpful if done biblically. And there is a way to do it biblically and respectfully to what God has called the family to do.
Yes.
Okay. So, but we would agree that most youth groups that have been set up, and particularly in America, in the visible church, like they've been more damaging than helpful.
Yeah. Seal the Deal has a question for you.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that. Seal the Deal says, did you invite the cop who pulled you over to church, bro? He actually asked about the church.
Yeah, you got to watch that video.
Yeah, he asked.
If you watch the video, he'll ask about the church.
He did, and I said, yeah, it's on Caroline Street, and hopefully we'll see him at the church. And for those of y'all who don't know, I got pulled over, and it was a funny, situation. You know what I'm saying? I did feel profiled.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay, we can.
Let's talk about that. So you were driving down the street, and Garrett, we see your question. We'll get right to that.
Yeah.
You were driving down the street.
I was going to a pastor's meeting.
Okay.
And so I was in a four-way. The state policeman passed by me in the front. We locked eyes, and I already knew. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing different than what I grew up with. I'm going to get pulled over. Just from the look that he gave me.
The look.
Right?
Were you in the shade or what? Because you're kind of light skinned, so I don't know. You could have passed for a white dude.
No.
Okay.
No. The beard,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No. So he passed by me, and then it was obvious to me that he was going to pull me over. So what he did was, let me get rid of this. I don't know what they're saying here on YouTube. Yeah, that would be crazy. So yeah, I got pulled over. Well, actually, before that, let me just change the volume here. All right. So he passed by me. We locked eyes, and then he gave me the look, right? And so he went further down a little bit, maybe about a quarter of a mile, or roughly. So he didn't stop right away. That was another funny thing. He didn't turn around right away. He went down a little bit, and then he made a hard turn. Yeah, he made a hard turn.
U-turn.
Right.
That joint was so hard, it was a V-turn.
Hard turn, and then he went behind me.
Right.
And then he followed me, and then what I did was I put my phone to take the video because I didn't know how this was going to go down, actually, right? So he followed me a little bit, checked my registration, pulled me over. So he went to the side door, and then he said, yeah, can I see your registration? And I said, why? He said, because your state inspection is expired, and also your registration is expired. So I said, I kind of pointed to my, state inspection sticker, and he said, oh, I thought it was a 4.
Your state inspection sticker said August.
Yeah, it said
which
8.
means you had to the end of the month.
Right. It was 8. He thought it was a 4.
Okay.
He said, oh, but I pulled you over for your registration. I said, no, you didn't. I said, you pulled me over because you thought my state inspection wasn't. And he said, no. So we went back and forth a little bit. And then I told him, this kind of looks bad right now. Yeah. I was just straight up honest with him. He said, why? I said, because you're pulling me over. I give you my paper that's showing you that my registration isn't expired, and I got pulled over for something, didn't happen. And then he explained.
How fast were you going when you first drove past him?
I wasn't going fast. No, I was stopped.
Oh.
I was stopped.
So technically he could have looked over and saw a 4 on your windows, on your windshield. Technically. Okay. I'm trying to look at it from all angles here.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But there was no 4 on the windshield. It doesn't matter. There was no 4 on the windshield.
Yeah, and I don't know how he did that with the way he was looking at me at that turn. But anyway, that's another story. But so anyway, I felt profiled from the situation, and I had a little conversation, a respectful conversation. I wasn't disrespectful.
You told him you respected him.
I did. And yeah, I kind of had to I do respect you. You're a police officer.
And you respect the position.
For sure. You know what I mean? I'm not there to cause problems, but it looked bad. You know what I'm saying? It looked really bad. I felt profiled. I felt like he stopped me for no reason. And then he actually tried to say he was going to warn me or something like that. I'm like,
yeah.
Warn me, my registration isn't expired. And I said, I'll take it to court.
And I remember that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just like, this dude, but anyway, that's what was going on, and hopefully he'll come to church and he'll be respected there. It'll be all love. That's what's up, man. Thanks for coming through.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's unfortunate, man. I really do feel like the way he turned around, the way he went up behind my car, and then just everything being knocked down from the inspection sticker to the registration, I was just like, this isn't looking good. So, yeah.
Silda Dill says, why did you bring up the mayor?
Yeah, so because I felt profiled, I wanted him to know, one, that I was a pastor. I'm not who you probably think I am. And number two, I know the mayor. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just, a dude out here causing problems. I'm a law-abiding citizen. You know what I'm saying? I have a relationship with the mayor. I'm a pastor. I'm not probably who you think I am.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I mean? Because the thing is, guys, you have to understand, when I lived in the city in the block, I remember one incident, and I have many, where I felt profiled. Unfortunately, a white lady who lived on a block called the cops on me This was during the time of 9/11, and the cops came to my door and they said, "Hey, is everything okay?" I said, "Yeah, what's going on?" He said, "Well, a lady called because she said, there was a guy down the street who may be causing problems or whatever." And I was just like, "Sir, I'm actually a church member. I love the Lord. I love my family. I don't know what's going on." It was during the time of 9/11.
Right, and you got the look.
I got the look.
You're light-skinned, bald, with the beard.
You know what I mean? So, like, this is not the first time. I know what.
If you put a wrap on your head, you definitely look like
I did. I had a beanie in my.
Oh,
that's how I rolled back in the day, So when you have those situations happening, people right away, I've gotten calls and people say, "Yo, I don't know if I agree," and all that. And I'm like, bro, I get it. I said, one, I have relationships with cops. Some of them are my friends. We have a church member who's a cop. I've been stopped before and been helped by cops before.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years ago, my registration did expire.
The cops are who you call when you need them.
Right. And they actually let me off. They said, "Bro, this, you can do it online right away. Just get it done."
Yeah.
And I was like, good luck, So cops aren't bad people. But that particular situation to me, it just felt too close to.
I think the reality that we're dealing with here is that it wasn't just an isolated situation. Yeah. This is the way that you are dealing with something that this is against a backdrop of of historically not having the greatest relationships or encounters with cops.
Yeah, and I've had good encounters.
Right, I'm saying not having the greatest. I'm not saying you've always had the worst.
Yeah.
But not having the greatest.
Sure.
So I think we do need to realize that too. The same way that we give cops the benefit of the doubt whenever we say, well, you don't know how their day was, you don't know what it's like to step outside as a cop and feel like a target is on your back, you know what I mean? Like, if we're giving benefit of the doubt, then we need to hand it out for both sides, on all sides.
Edwin is asking, were you the only Latino in that area? Like, were you in a white neighborhood? Actually, I was.
LS.
Yeah.
Lampeter, Strasburg. Anybody in Lancaster knows that's. Yeah.
And actually, a lot of us know not to actually move in that area.
When we're looking for a home right now, me and my wife and the family, and I don't want to move to Lampeter, Strasburg for certain reasons. It has a reputation. That's the thing. A lot of people don't want to admit that there are such things as reputations of being racist in certain areas. There's reputations of tougher places in the city even. This is a reality. So I know we live in a PC culture where they say you can't say these statements or make assumptions, but everybody makes assumptions.
Right.
Everyone makes calculations in their heads before they react. That's just the reality of it. So I mean, is there a difference between East and different from LS? What's the difference between LS and East LS? It's all the same school district, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Garrett had a question. How are we as believers supposed to interact with suffering? Is it wrong or sinful to struggle with embracing it and counting it all joy?
That's a good question. I think you're going to experience suffering, and I would say it is sinful to be a complainer. You know what I'm saying? I think when you start complaining and start doubting and start, not really showing for the joy that God promises us in suffering. You know what I'm saying? I would say it is. But struggling with joy and fighting for it, I don't see anything sinful about it. And I've seen people fight for it. But then I've also seen people just even, borderline blaspheming God because of it. So, yeah.
Dealing with a situation close to home right now where there's suffering involved. And I had a conversation. Person said that they truly believe that God has purpose for everything. There's meaning behind it all. Like, definitely trusting God's sovereign will. Mm-hmm. It's just hard to embrace it in the moment. In the moment, like we were talking about in men's Bible study last night, sometimes you have to see the big picture. All you can see is the picture that's in front of you, and you have to zoom out and look at the big picture. But in that moment of suffering, you don't think about zooming out. Yeah. Matter of fact, most of the times in suffering, you zoom closer to whatever the pain is. Just like whenever you are in the middle of feeling pain from an injury, you keep on, your mind stays locked on the injury that you have. If you break your thumb, it's hard to not think about my broken thumb in the moment. It's hard to think, like, in that moment, you're not thinking, well, at least both of my legs are still healthy. At least my heart didn't give up on me. At least both of my eyes are still working fine. No, you're thinking about the broken thumb. Yeah. Sometimes the pain does take over in the moment, and you can't think about anything but the pain. So I can definitely sympathize with people when it comes to that. Cousin Ruby, she says, how can I, as a believer, be careful of not entertaining my unsaved loved ones without hurting their feelings? I always love entertaining in my home, but I am recently feeling like I need to be more careful of the spirits I am entertaining in my home. So what I'll do is I'll take the question out of that and then post it. Oh, you got that? Okay. I didn't see you was able to do that. I thought because it was too many words, you might not have been able to. How can I, as a believer, be careful of not entertaining my unsaved loved ones without hurting their feelings? Okay. So at this point, it seems like she is feeling the need to pull back from entertaining as much because maybe it's making her feel that she's compromising, or she's allowing evil spirits to come into her home and she doesn't want to invite that. First thing first, maybe go to where they are. Maybe you can find another place to be with your family. And then guess what? If you feel like it's getting out of hand, you can always leave. Yeah. I've learned to do that, to meet up with somebody where they are. That way I get to determine whenever it's time for me to clock out. I know that sometimes it's hard to invite people over your home and then not want to feel like you got to, you want to kick them out. Sometimes people overstay their welcome, and sometimes they make you feel uncomfortable as they're there. Because you're like, yo, this is not productive. This is not fruitful. And you've been here for 3 or 4 hours. Yes, sometimes it's better to meet up in person too. Like, go out to eat with your family instead of having them over. That way, you can sit there as long as you want at the restaurant. Then when it's time to go, pay and leave. And if you're at a restaurant or public area, maybe people won't act up as much either. Maybe.
Right.
But I do know that struggle right there of, not wanting to hurt people's feelings, because you don't want to entertain or have them over. So yeah, I mean, you always have people over, so I think you deal with that a lot too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Do I have any more questions? You have any questions?
Not me. I'm good.
Let me see. Here goes one. I'm going to put it in the comment section. By God's grace, you can go back and jump into the middle of a church heresy council. Which one do you go to and why?
Hold on, I'm waiting for the...
Oh, I did it again.
Wait,
Sorry.
we do got another question.
All right.
Bryce.
Okay. All right. I keep on sending them to myself. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. How do we hold sorrow in our hearts, listening to the news in Afghanistan without being overwhelmed with the sorrow unto death or with the sense of guilt when our lives are so blessed here? Yeah. Good question.
I'm looking at comments. If you want to go ahead. My bad. I was looking at the. Shout out to y'all that in the comment section. I'm reading your comments right now. Sometimes my comments come in a little bit slow, so I don't know how long they've been there, but yeah. Bryce, how do we hold sorrow in our hearts without feeling overwhelmed with the sorrow unto death or the sense of guilt when our lives are so blessed here? Yo, we just dealt with this last week, remember?
Mm-hmm.
How do we as Christians, how do we show that, how do we grieve in solidarity with Christians that are in pain, like the ones in Afghanistan and Haiti, and how do we grieve with them? How do we be one in the grievance, right? But at the same time, live lives that are so blessed and bountiful and living in abundance over here. How do we cry with those who are crying? And, things of that nature. I think that's what she's asking.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say, I think it's okay to have both. I think it's possible to do both, to enjoy what God's given you, but also, almost like you got pebble in your shoe. You know what I'm saying? Like that reminder in your heart to remember that there is suffering.
Yeah.
It just creates this like maturity sometimes. Like you begin to be thankful for what you have. You can enjoy what you have, but also have a sense of, brokenness. If like you begin to be more appreciative of what you have when you understand that there's a lot of people that don't have what you have. You know what I mean? So there were times where I was with my family and I saw what I had in my family, seeing my kids laugh or things in my life that I'm enjoying, and then in the back of my mind I'm thinking there's a lot of people that would want to have this but can't. I think that's the way to enjoy what you have, but also keeping in mind the suffering and the lack that a lot of people have. And I would say that should produce thanksgiving and more appreciation for what you have. I think it's okay to have both. To have that tension is good because it makes you thankful for what you have, and it keeps you prayerful for others that don't have it.
Yeah, and I would say even if you're in the moment, something comes across your mind that causes you to feel sorrow and grief for other people's suffering, then pray for them in that moment. A lot of times whenever I am feeling sorrow for someone else in a particular moment, maybe randomly, I see something that reminds me of somebody that's going through something and they cross my mind. In that moment, I try to, if I'm able to, try to stop what I'm doing and pray for them in that moment. And if you need to continue praying for a whole hour straight until you can feel the sorrow lift from your spirit, then do it. I heard a quote before that when you get to heaven, you will not regret the time you spent praying. Usually it's the other way around. You will actually regret the time you didn't spend praying. You'll regret the time you weren't in your word. You'll regret the time that that you weren't interceding on other people's behalves. So, Sister Lynette says the same way I deal with salvation and election, I still pray, evangelize while knowing that God has to do the work. With brokenness, I still pray and do what I can while trusting that God must do the greater work. Being thankful is key. That's good. Yeah. It does come down to that. It does come down to doing your part and then trusting God with the rest. And that trust part is hard because if you don't see it happen even within a couple of days, then it feels like, is he listening? Is he gonna answer this prayer? It's like when you're waiting for something in the mail. You ever wait for something in the mail and then it doesn't come after a day or two? Let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about the taxes. Let's talk about the tax returns. You ever be waiting for your tax return after when they said it's going to take 3 weeks? It says 14 to 28 days, right? What happens on that 12th day? You start looking. 13th day, 14th day. Nah, they said 14 to 28. It got to be here by the 15th day. And sometimes it gets to that 27th, 28th. Sometimes it gets to the 30th day and you go, hold up, what's happening? And in that moment, you can't trust the government. How can you trust them to give you your money? I'm bringing that up just to say a lot of times we have trust issues if something isn't happening right away. But it shouldn't be that way with God. We should leave it. Leave it at the feet of God and trust that he will do it.
Jose says, can you brothers exegete the passage John 10:34, please? Blessings, enjoying the ministry.
10:34.
Yeah. It says Jesus answered, or let me see here. Yes, Jesus answered them. Is it not written in your law? I said, you are gods. If he called them gods to whom the word of God came and scripture cannot be broken. We just went through that.
We just went through that.
Yeah. Perfect timing, brother. Perfect timing.
Yes.
First of all, Jesus is quoting Psalm 82:6. So that's important. Like Psalm 82:6 says, I said you are gods, sons of the Most High, all of you. Right? So he's quoting that. But don't forget verse 7. Nevertheless, like men, you shall die and fall like any prince.
That's it.
So that's the important part. And Jesus isn't affirming that we are gods. He's affirming that scriptures cannot be broken. That was the point of the passage.
And he was appealing to them, saying, you're getting mad over what I'm saying to you right now. Yet you wouldn't even get mad at this psalmist calling all humans God in this case.
Right. And you might not like the way the psalmist is saying it, but it's scripture.
Yes.
You can't take it away.
You can't.
Right.
Now, obviously, we know that he's dealing with the small g letter, small letter G God.
Right. But even the following verse in Psalm 82:7, a God, the true God, can never die. Scripture, right? The true living God. So to call them gods and to say then that they will die was already kind of like a jab. You know, you're not really gods at the end of the day.
Right.
Right. So it was just Jesus talking about scripture not being able to be broken, not being able to be erased. And he's using an example there to make that point. You might be uncomfortable with that text, but that's what it says.
I even like how he says, is it not written in your law?
Right. Right.
Is it not written in your law? Meaning, don't you have literally scrolls that you could pull out where it's talking about this?
Right.
In Psalm 82?
Yeah.
Don't you know Psalm 82 by heart?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a jab. It was more like, a jab at those who thought much of themselves. But then Jesus said, or the scripture says in Psalm 82:7, nevertheless, like men, you shall die and fall like any prince. So, yeah, that's in a nutshell what it was dealing with. So I hope that was helpful.
Verse 36, John 10:36, he's saying, do you say of him whom the Father consecrated and sent into the world, you are blaspheming because I said I am the Son of God. So you have a problem with me saying I'm the Son of God, but you don't have a problem with this psalmist saying these humans are gods.
Right.
That's what he's saying. Like, wait a minute. How do you have a problem with what I'm saying, but you don't have a problem with Psalm 82:6?
Right.
So, he's throwing it back in their face.
Lynette's trying
to I just read that question.
Well, actually, I reached out to Tim and Rachel Schmoyer, Tim Bertolet, and I don't know if I'm going to do it as a basement episode, but we're going to do an episode or a video on historic pre-mill. We're going to get down. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I think some questions, opening it up for questions and all that would be good. So that way they can interact, you know what I'm saying, with some of the comments and prove everybody wrong. But
I would love to be there, and maybe I could be the one asking questions.
Yeah.
If I'm asking questions, you guys can answer it, right?
Well, yeah, I'm not So I hold to The View, but I'm definitely not an expert in The View. They're the experts. You know, they're very able to answer a lot of and navigate through some passages even with people. So it'll take me some time. I'm still actually fairly new to The View, being a dispensational most of my life. You know, so. Did you do an episode on the other views? No, not me. I'm good. No. You can have, the other guys. I was going to call them out, but no. No.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so any other questions or comments?
Did I have one in the comment section? I thought I did. I think I put one last one out there.
Let me see.
I did. Remember the one about the church, if you could jump into the church council. Where's it at?
I don't see it.
I'll put it out there again. Last one on my end. We'll look for some more. That post mill here, bro. Yeah, we know still the deal. Actually, yeah, a lot of his post mill posts were making me interested, and I wanted to find out what the heck he kept on saying, that post mill, and what that meant. Yeah, so it's the last one I just put out there.
Gotcha. I see it. Okay.
By God's grace, this is my question. By God's grace, you can go back and jump into the middle of a church council. Heresy. Church heresy. Which one do you go to and why? I would want to go see the one where Santa Claus smacked the bull in his face. No, where Saint Nicholas put his hands on
Is it Arius?
Yeah, the homoousios.
Yeah.
The one where they were arguing over, it was Godhead oriented, right? That was where they were dealing with the same substance and all that. God, all Father, Son, Holy Spirit being of the same substance, being of the same, having the same essence. I think Arius was going way too far, and then Saint Nicholas was not having any of those games. So I would want to go back to one of those church councils. Well, you know what? No, because I don't know the language. That would be tough. I would have to have an interpreter.
I think I would have liked to have been there at was it called the Synod of Dort, where they pulled in all the Arminian teachers.
Okay. I know which one I would want.
And then coined the 5 points of Calvinism.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I would want to go to the one most recently where R.C. Sproul stood on the table, where the Catholics
and was it J.I. Packer that was with them?
I don't know, but it was the Catholics got together with a group of Protestants, and they were trying to find ways to be ecumenical with one another. It was the ecumenical council, whatever they were trying to do in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and they had a council, and R.C. Sproul was there and couldn't take it anymore, and he stood up on top of the table and pretty much said, "What's wrong with you people?" He didn't say that, but he was going in and just, I would want to see that.
Bryce says, this
Martin
is such
Luther.
a seminary question, but I'm here for it.
Okay.
Right.
Martin Luther at the Diet of Worms.
Seal the Deal's record label, Synod of Dort Productions.
So that's where that comes from.
Nice.
Right, I'm playing. Bryce. Ooh. She says, what are your thoughts on the Chosen TV series?
Don't know because I don't watch TV.
That's so safe.
I don't. I heard about it, but
That's so safe.
is it on Netflix?
I watch it on YouTube.
Okay.
I watched the first season, and I need to watch the second season. I like the first season. This is for people that do not have a problem with the second CV. They're not, it doesn't bother them to see images of someone portraying Jesus.
Oh yeah, the ones that don't believe what the Bible says about that. No, I'm joking.
Worshiping an image. There's a difference.
You know what? I actually don't beef with people that do it. I personally don't do it.
No, I think it's getting to the heart of the matter, which is worshiping. He says, create the image, bow down to it, worshiping it. I liked it. I liked it because I'm a very visual person. So when I see the Gospels at least trying to be portrayed accurately, at least trying. I mean, they have artistic expression, liberties that they definitely express, right? Artistic liberties they put in there, like Matthew, Levi, the tax collector. They made him like have like Asperger's or something. He's like socially awkward. Maybe not Asperger's. I'm not PC, y'all. But he's socially awkward. He doesn't get along well with other people. There's just something wrong with him. He's thrown off a little bit, and they give him that quirk, and then they give Peter this. They always put. They always show the person's flaws that they think the person would have had. So, Peter was like impulsive. And, he found himself getting into trouble often. And his brother would save him a lot of times from the trouble, or at least try. So, yeah, I thought it was good. I thought season 1 was good. I need to watch season 2.
So it's called The Chosen.
Yeah, I would recommend it to anyone that is looking for something out there like to watch like that.
That's not to be mistaken with The Chosen One. That Netflix series, I guess, that's on there.
Yeah, I don't think it's it's The Chosen.
Okay, just making sure. Cool. Lynette says, I tried watching it. I struggle with the liberties in making a movie only when it comes to the scriptures. Plus, I don't like movies or watching TV.
Yeah, I don't see it being any different than church plays. I don't see it being any different than any other form of art that we do. So, I definitely get it. I definitely understand why some people would stay away from it if they have convictions for it. But I mean, at that point, then are we gonna not listen to any type of music? Are we not gonna? I don't know how far that goes.
Yeah.
Someone said that Lynette looks like one of the characters. Which one? They better not be talking about Mary. Yo, if they said you look like Mary,
I gotta find this.
Yeah, you gotta make a meme out of it. You owe her.
Yeah, for real.
Which one, Sister Lynette? Yeah. Again, if it goes against your convictions, then just don't watch it. This is like the whole grape juice thing that we answered last time. Do you do communion with grape juice, or do you do it with real wine?
Yeah. Bring your own wine then.
Yeah, if you don't do real wine, then you might as well go all the way. Get your unleavened bread too.
Garrett got
and then pass that cup around of that wine too. Pass that cup around. Like, make sure that you pass it around the church. Everybody get a sip of it. Because if we really doing it that far.
One more question, Garrett says. How do you guys feel about believers participating in trend challenges? The Crate Challenge.
I don't see that question up.
Yeah, it's up. I got it on the screen.
Oh, Garrett. Okay. Yeah.
How do I feel about it, bro? I feel like you should try it, record it, and then post it. Please. Do me the favor, bro. Please do it. That's how I feel about it. Like, if I know you and you're out there and you're watching tonight, you're tuning in, send us videos of you doing the Crate Challenge, and we will play it on the basement.
So you're pro Crate Challenge?
I'm pro people falling.
So you're pro fail? Pro failure?
I'm for humor, bro. I want to laugh.
Okay.
I want to have a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At your expense.
You ever go on YouTube and watch those fail videos?
I watch because I used to skateboard back in the day.
It helps me out sometimes in the middle of my day. I go on there and watch the fail videos on YouTube.
Yeah, so I'm all about it, Garrett. Go ahead, bro, please. You know what I'm saying? Do it. And we'll record it. We'll put it on, and we'll have you on, bro. You can comment on your video. We could do like little takes of your fall. Like midway, we could stop and just talk about what you thought about at that time.
Like right when they're falling, they're like, stop. Okay.
Yeah.
I see your facial expression.
Yeah.
What were you thinking at this point?
Yeah. That would be dope, bro. That would be amazing. Yeah. Yes, we are talking about you, bro.
Yo, I would not do the crate challenge.
Yes.
They couldn't pay me enough.
Well, I mean, they could pay me a little.
Okay, hold on. Let me take that back. Let me take that
If
back.
they pay my house off, bro, I will do a cartwheel.
You'll
on
run
them
up that
things, bro.
joint, huh?
I'll run. I'll do it 3 times. You know what I'm saying?
I guarantee you. Second crate, you're down.
Bro,
I saw you on that Dance Revolution game. Second crate, you're down.
Listen.
You're down for the count on the second crate, bro.
I was. It's kind of like the other guys were kind of moving quick. I was just like trying to figure this thing out. I'll pay for your ER visit. I'll drive you to the hospital, bro.
Yo, that's
with
wild.
joy. Let's do this. So, yes. But actually, I don't feel any problem with it. Like, it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo, this crate challenge is crazy.
It is, man. It's funny how things take off. You know what I'm saying? How things just evolve.
Well, I saw this meme. Was it? Oh, it was in our thread, the text thread that we're in. Somebody posted and said, "Oh my gosh, they're not taking COVID serious. Let's create the crate challenge."
Yeah. Right.
So it's like always another distraction.
It's crazy.
It's like if this isn't going to catch your attention, what else will catch your attention?
Right.
It is about the clicks and the views, though, at the end of the day. Yeah, Vic says it was at this moment he knew he messed up.
Any other questions?
When climbing a crate goes wrong.
Yeah.
Peter's wife. Oh, snap. I could definitely see it being Peter's wife. Yeah, Sister Lynette, you definitely, yeah, I could see that. And she was on his top. Like, she stayed yelling at him and getting on him. Like, yeah, I could see that.
Ruby has one. I think it's a question, and I think we're almost up here. What state of mind is someone in when they hold the title of a preacher but engage in worldly concerts and clubs?
I just had this talk with my wife the other night. I don't know what a person who's a pastor or just a Christian in general, what type of business they have doing in clubs and concerts and stuff. I can't judge every situation. Just off the top of my head, though, I don't know what they would have any business doing there. I don't know. This is tough because it's like, imagine an older pastor goes, and I've seen this happen on my Facebook timeline, where they go to a Earth, Wind and Fire concert. Or they even go to something as wild as like a Prince concert. Maybe not a Prince one. Let's not take it as far as that. That's wild.
Humping the stage and all that's not cool.
Let's just say a Teddy Riley concert, right? How far is too far?
Yeah.
I think it definitely comes back to conscience, conviction, but also the example that you set. Just know if you're a pastor and you're doing this, your congregation is watching.
I think content too, along with because there are things in the world you can enjoy, the arts you can enjoy. So like when I listen to a lot of 80s music, and there are some that, and I would say a lot of it is foul, right? But there were those artists who had them clean records. They weren't about overt sexuality and pornography or anything like that. They just really had good music. You know what I'm saying? So if they were still like doing a tour today and they had clean music, I wouldn't mind going to a concert, checking it out, but I'm not gonna do that with a 2 Live Crew concert. You know what I'm saying? That would be crazy.
Snoop Dogg.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I can't rock with that because the content is definitely blasphemous. But if you have someone singing about a couple falling in love or, saying, feelings and all this and that, and it was clean content, then I don't see an issue with that.
I think this conversation will really heat up in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Because
you had that next wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guess what? The last wave will be gone by then.
Right.
So I think this conversation really heats up in the next 10 years.
Yeah, I agree.
Right now, you'd be lucky to catch an Earth, Wind, and Fire. I keep on bringing that up because I love Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I think I would see myself going to a concert. Even though most of the members aren't going to be there, I would love to see a Earth, Wind, and Fire concert.
Yeah.
But even some Earth, Wind, and Fire songs I can't play in front of the kids. There's a couple of them that I listen to, and then if I'm in the car with my kids, I don't want them hearing something that's overtly sexual. I can play that with my wife. That's different. I mean, yeah. But again, it always comes back to convictions. It really does.
Yeah, I don't know about the club thing. Like, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, you know, I would have an issue with someone who calls himself pastor and is in the club chilling and, you know, drinking and, you know, dancing and all that. Like, that to me is fishy, you know. But let me see here.
Lynette says, then I guess if a person goes to a concert like that, he is likely unqualified in other ways. Too many pastors twisting scriptures to take a title as a pastor.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with the club part. I don't know.
Yeah, that especially club. That's why I didn't even deal with clubs. I was dealing more with concerts.
That's obvious, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what business they would have doing in there.
Right.
I really don't. That's just asking for. I mean, I'm known for saying this. Like, you got to watch yourself when you go to the beach. You got to watch yourself when you go even to the mall. I mean, yeah. I don't know what that would be like to go in. I've never been to it. First of all, I've never been in a club. Obviously, as a Christian, but yeah.
Yeah. Now, Ruby's asking, really, but isn't that secular? Isn't it, again, biblical worldview? She's asking about the biblical worldview. Yeah, so like I said, the content matters. You know what I'm saying? Is it antichrist? Is it blasphemous? Is it, because if we're all honest, there are secular things we do every day that we benefit from that aren't Christian. We don't buy all Christian clothing, even though some of us do. We support it. You know what I'm saying? But it's somewhere along the way we benefit from, the world, from common grace. You know what I mean? And so I think we got to be careful, because at some point it turns into legalism. And then if you're honest with that conviction, it will lead to like a very legalistic, judgmental life. I've seen that happen because if you're going to say one thing is wrong, especially when it comes to like a particular things, like let's say a concert, and the content isn't crazy, it's talking about just life things, things you can enjoy. I don't see any problem. But if you have a problem with that, then you're going to have to push that into the things that you do on a regular basis. You're going to have to watch what clothing brand you're buying, what car you're buying. Some of the companies you might be buying from are supporting, abortion or anti-Christ policies. You know what I mean? Like, how far are you going to take it? And I don't know if I want to live like that, man. That sounds like a phobic, crazy life to live. Like, I don't have time really to look at every nick and cranny of the things that I do in this world. Like, I just got to make sure that I'm not in a club, because that's overtly sinful. Definitely, clearly sinful. But there are other things that we do enjoy, commonly speaking, along with the world that we can enjoy. So
yeah. Vic says him and his wife used to go to music festivals and raves. Definitely not a place for a professing Christian to be involved. It can be a stumbling block for an unbeliever, but it can definitely be a mission field. He says, Sister Lynette mentions a person going to the club to evangelize. I guess that's a different conversation. So Lecrae used to hand out his CDs, his Christian rap CDs outside of the club. They would go on club nights, Saturday nights, and post up and wait for people to come out of the club and be able to preach to them. So I do know that. Sister Ruby says, I know a preacher right now who has sponsored a Cotton Club concert. I just don't believe a Christian should have any part of worldly lifestyles. Yeah, I guess there is a difference between, even with sponsoring. That's
What's a Cotton Club concert?
I don't know, but it sounds like something they shouldn't be sponsoring. It definitely, there's even certain people that we won't even partner up with to do ministry because of you don't want it to look a certain way. So
sure.
I could definitely understand a person not wanting to take part in that at all.
Sure.
Because we're pretty selective too, even with how we partner with people. So
yeah, I
get it.
All right, y'all. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here.
Yeah, the Cotton Club, that sounds like, I don't know, man. In 2021, can you even call a club the Cotton Club?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yo, the Cotton Club? Imagine you walk in there and there's nothing but black people in there. Bruh, hold up.
We're going backwards here.
Yo.
You know what I mean? This is over.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And there's white club owners. Yo, that's wild. All right,
yeah,
I'm done.
Oh, boy.
That's
all
wild.
right, y'all. Well, definitely thank you for joining us tonight. Good questions. I'm sorry we couldn't get to some of the things, especially with the cop situation. I saw that some others had some comments on there I wanted to interact with, but definitely keep us in prayer. We're in school right now, so pray for wisdom.
Yes.
Pray for rest.
Please.
That would be helpful. Well, wait a minute. There's one more. Man, how Lecrae go from handing out a CD outside of clubs to going to the club with French Montana?
That's wild.
Oh. I don't even know who French Montana is. I don't know what's going on there. So
he's a pastor.
Oh, really?
No, I'm messing.
Oh, dang. Pastor French. Pastor French.
French Montana is a rapper / pop artist signed under Diddy. Diddy discovered him, I think.
Oh.
Anyway, he's one of them New York cats. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well. All right. We can talk about that some other time for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank y'all for joining us, and we appreciate you. Facebook.com/group/thebasement. You can definitely go on there, and I want to say subscribe, but you can just join us on there as a group member. And so make sure you go there, support us. The other thing is patreon.com/thebasement717 is our Patreon page. You can go there and, support.
I'm going to be updating tomorrow. I'm going to be sending the video out for the patrons.
Okay. That'd be dope.
Next Wednesday, make sure y'all tune in. Episode 99. We got a special guest, Lord willing, coming here. Lemuel James. I'm hoping that he'll join us. We're going to be talking about the fear of God, fear of man. We got a lot to talk about.
Yep.
So fear not. We will be here, Lord willing. Next Wednesday.
Yeah, wrathandgrace.com. Go to the website. Support Wrath and Grace. Make sure you go on to the website. Buy a shirt. Do something. Support the ministry. It would be dope. And we do have an app, WG Universe. I would encourage you to get it. It's a good experience. Good way of you connecting with the content and also the resources that we do have on the website. So, but it was a blessing to be with y'all here tonight. Pray for us for rest as we continue to do the ministry God's called us to do here in the city of Lancaster. You can go to ChristAloneFellowship.com. That is our church. You can go there, and if you're in the city of Lancaster or even by Philly or even Harrisburg,
or just want to slide through sometime,
yeah, let us know. We would definitely love to have you over, and we usually hang out after service and just have a good time of fellowship. So, But grace and peace, everybody. Thank you for coming through. This is The Basement, where theology meets the thoughts of life, and it's been a blessing here tonight.
God bless y'all.
Grace and peace.